We're talking about natural gas, and just over those mountains in a place called the Crude in South Africa are trillions and trillions of cubic feet of shale gas. And it's interesting when we're trading commodities to understand where these commodities come from. There's enormous financial benefit and energy benefit to be gained, but there's also environmental concern, of course, as with any fracking or shale gas extraction. And it's always important when one is trading commodities to understand what's involved in taking them out of the ground and getting them to people where they need them the most to heat up their homes and to provide energy for vehicles and factories and so on. Well, here's what's now become a weekly update on natural gas. If you just have a look at this chart, it's pretty much a diagonal line from the top left to the bottom right, which is pretty unusual in charts. But anyway, I just did that for visual effect. Let's have a look at where we are today. I'll just reset that. And we've now started to try and form a bottom on natural gas. And we've formed a whole bunch of sideways candles at just above the level of $2.3, $2.30. And that's where we are at the moment. And if I just zoom in, you'll see I put a little short video up on YouTube a couple of days ago. It looks like we're trying to make a double bottom now. We did form a couple of reversal candles here, a couple of higher highs and higher lows, and then we had this big crash down 2 days ago. I kind of like this candle pattern though. For some that might look bearish, but to me that looks pretty bullish. And often we get an attempt for a rally, and then we get a collapse back down towards that same support level, try and form a double bottom, and then begin to rally off there. So remember I said 2 videos ago that I think 2.3 is the key number. We may get below 2.3. We may get to $2 round. I don't know. But at the moment, we're still holding above 2.3, and we're trying to form a double bottom here at, well, call it 235, somewhere around there, with a few increasingly optimistic looking candles. I think that's the best way I can put it, is that there might be a shred of optimism in this rather than a definite reversal. We really need to get above this level here, and that's at 266, and we need to close above there for the first glimpse, an attempt for natural gas to rally up towards first resistance at 2.8, $2.80, 275, 280, and then from there we need to get up to this previous support level where we collapsed through and reverse back tested it and fell down, and that's at $3.50-ish, or $3.57 technically, if you want to cut down to pennies. The worrying thing about natural gas is this pattern here that we saw in mid to late January is exactly the same sort of pattern that we're seeing right now. And so we're potentially just forming a ledge for another move down, and the next move lower will be down to 2. And I have a sneaky suspicion that if we get to $2, we're probably not going to hold $2 like we didn't hold $2.50. So these round numbers are more like traps, honey traps, bear traps, whatever you want to call them right now, or bull traps, just a trap. And I don't think if we get to $2 that's going to hold. I think we might have to get to 175 or 180, but we might hold at 235. However, we are forming the same leveling off horizontal pattern that we saw back here before that collapse down through support and a back test. So I think if we fall down through here, we're going to get down to $2, back test $2.30 from underneath, and then potentially drop below $2. But for those who are looking to buy natural gas, we're incredibly oversold. This is an unusual chart. It's literally a vertical plunge from the top down to the bottom, and there will be some relief at some stage. That's the best that we can say about it right now, but it may not be right at the current price. We might have to see some more pain down to $2 and potentially below. If you look at the $2 level, the $2.30 level rather, there's definite support there going back some time. And if you look at the $2 level, apart from being a round number, it's also a very significant support level going back some period of time. You can see that whenever we got to 2, we spiked up through it or we dipped down below it. So bear in mind the $2 number is not a magic number. Here we go. There we got up as it was resistance. $2 was resistance. We spiked through it before falling back down. Here, $2 was support. We spiked down to 180 before moving through. So I suspect if we get to $2, it's not going to hold perfectly. We may have to get slightly lower. But before that happens, we have some hope of forming a bottom above $2.30. That's your natural gas roundup. Take care, and hope you enjoyed the little bit of interesting information on fracking and natural gas extraction from shale in the Crude in South Africa. Take care, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll speak to you again probably around this time next week.